Before we start, let me list down the requirements that you need to comply if you're traveling to Metro Manila from any provinces in the Philippines. From where I came from, they did not check this in the airport. Anyways, the first one is X-ray. You need to go to a clinic or hospital. After you get a normal chest result, you go to the city health's office for the medical certificate. You need the medical certificate to get a barangay certificate. Then after that, you need to go to the police station to get the PNP authorization letter. I did not do the last one because my flight is 4 p.m. and I got the barangay certificate at 2 p.m. So on Monday afternoon, I went to a hospital in Zamboanga City for the x-ray and I paid more than 200 pesos. I got the result the next morning. On Tuesday morning, after I got my result from the hospital, I went directly to Paseo. For those residing in Zamboanga, you don't have to do this because it's just a waste of time. They will give the medical certificate in Centro Latino. Again, you don't have to do this because it will take you 1 hour and there's a very long line. There, they will give you a form that you need to fill up with a number in it and they will call your number. Inside, you need to pay 50 pesos for the medical certificate. After that, you can go to the barangay hall to get the barangay certificate. They will check your medical certificate before giving it to you, but for travel purposes, they will give the barangay certificate for free. It was my first time taking PAL, and I think because of the pandemic that they are cheaper now than Cebu Pacific. Also, before my travel, I already booked or registered online for the swab test in Metro Manila. I did this because the PCR test in Metro Manila is cheaper than in Zamboanga City. The next day after my arrival, I went to this clinic called the Lord's Grace Medical Clinic in Pasay City, just beside the World Trade Center. I chose this because they have a walk-in, you can pay by cash, and the result is within 24 hours. They also have a discount for the first 100 customers, and I was number 54, so I only paid 3,500 pesos, and within 5 hours, they emailed me the result. This is now Friday, which is the day of my flight. Prior to that, I stayed 3 nights in Manila. I made this 2 days gap between my domestic and international flight because back before I booked my ticket, I thought that the PCR test result will take 48 hours because I found the clinic 1 day before my flight. I went early to avoid any long lines to the airport. I left Manila at 4 p.m., took a taxi from the España Boulevard in Manila, and I reached NAIA Terminal 3 at 4:30 p.m. I paid 280 pesos for the taxi. Back before my flight in Zamboanga, I already printed all my documents except for the PCR test result, which I was waiting. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to print all the documents because they will be checked right before you enter NAIA. I will be traveling via Emirates Airlines under tourist visa for 90 days. The official sponsor is a travel agency, but I have a relative in Dubai, which is my mother. The travel agency just sent through WhatsApp the copy of my visa together with the business permit, invitation letter, and the travel insurance. At the gate, you need to show the printed ticket because the guard will ask you.
Boss, ano yung airline niyo po, ma'am?
Ha?
Qatar, ay,
Dubai.
Emirates? Sige, master.
Because of the pandemic, the flights are limited, so the guard will ask which destination you're going to. This means that only passengers can enter the main gate of NAIA. Since I went early, I arrived at the airport at 4:30 p.m. There was no line at all at the entrance of NAIA Terminal 3, and the guard only checked my passport, ticket, and the PCR test result. So if I were you, you need to go early. Now that we're inside Terminal 3, at 4:30 p.m. all the counters are still closed. It's very cold inside, so wear some decent jacket. Getting in was very easy. I thought because of the pandemic that they will have a strict protocol. Anyways, I went to pay travel tax. Those on the other side of the line is for OEC, for returning OFWs. I paid 1,620 pesos for tourists, but for OFW they have a discount. Again, come early because before the check-in counters that will open at 7 p.m. for my 11:30 p.m. flight, there was a very long line for the Emirates passengers. The line started at 6:30 p.m. Someone will give this departure card while you are lining. All this line is going to a booth where they will check all your documents and stamp the word checked in with a date in it. Then the line will go directly to visa checking. And then after that, you can go directly to the check-in counters, which also has a long line. After weighing your luggage and giving you the boarding pass, they will also give you this declaration form that you need to fill up before you go to the immigration. So this is now going to the immigration.
Ano kailangan? Meron na po kayong ano, ma'am? Boarding pass po.
Inside the immigration, they will ask questions like, sinong pupuntahan mo? Ilang taon na doon nagtatrabaho yung sponsor mo? Kailan ka huling pumunta doon? Confirm ba tong ticket mo? And kailan ka babalik dito? Just a warning, don't go to that old lady immigration officer because she's very strict. She checked for so long, but thankfully I was able to make it. I'm a frequent traveler, but that was the first time that I felt so nervous from an immigration officer. Everything after that was very smooth. Again, because of the pandemic, some airline tickets went down, especially for Emirates. So if I were you, just choose Emirates over other airlines because they're more convenient. There were so many passengers on board that time. It felt like nobody was offloaded, which is an amazing thing. Emirates has a lot of amenities even if you just take economy class. And with their price almost as low as Cebu Pacific, I grabbed the opportunity. They will give you this headset and pillow and blanket, which is important because it's a 9 hours flight. You don't have to worry about getting bored. All you have to do is just plug the headset. You can even charge your phone. And they have this vast collection of movies. You can listen to music and even play games. Because of the pandemic, they also give this free mask with hand sanitizers and gloves. They also have this air show where you can see which part of the world you are now. And it's been 5 hours. We're just above India. Because there was one passenger that mistakenly boarded the plane. The flight from Naiya was delayed by 45 minutes. So instead of arriving in Dubai at 4:45 a.m. local time, we arrived at 5:30 a.m. These are the check-in baggages of the passengers, and we're just waiting for the cabin crew to open the doors. Inside the airport, there will be employees of Emirates that will tell you where to go for you to take the COVID test. So this is where you will take the COVID test. They will scan your boarding pass and passport to get your details and do the swab test. And then after that, they will just text you the result. They will put this sticker after you take the swab test. After that, you can go directly to the immigration where you will just show your passport and they will scan your eye. And then after that, you can go directly to get your baggage and then you can exit the airport. It's that simple. So I just took a taxi going home and there's no quarantine at all.